Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Gaslands TV. Today I'll be using this plate here. It's a dish that I got from underneath a cake. So when you buy a cake uh, at your supermarket, I like the trim around. I think I'm gonna do like a white and red pattern, and maybe put some liquid inside, and it could be a good centerpiece for a race that a circular race kind of setup. And in the middle here, I'm going to put the camera, which could turn and follow the race, and the control panel here for the camera, maybe on the side, or I'll see. I'll figure out where to put that. But I'm going to start with gluing this thing in the middle and gluing the camera on top of it, and putting a ladder here for a maintenance guy to go up there and fix the camera or something. So I glued that there, and maybe add some piping. Pipes are obviously easy to make with straws, so I'll probably put a straw here, and maybe make the cars go underneath. Use them as gates. Maybe use the pipes as gates. I want to make it longer, but it's kind of hard to put two straws together. So I found that if you cut in a diagonal like this, it's really easy to add to the straw and continue the straw. And it makes for a seam that you could also like paint rust around it and make it look a little bit more realistic. But see, you made a gate out of a straw. So gonna glue that here to the side. It also adds to the theme once I put the liquid in there and stuff. I found this thing here, and it's a hair elastic, which you could probably find at dollar store or something, and it's pretty useful for a spring or something to decorate the pipes maybe. I'm not sure if it fits on a straw, so I'm gonna test it out here. Yeah, it's perfect size for a straw. So you could get these anywhere, and you could decorate pipes and stuff with it, or use it for maybe shocks on your monster truck or a rig or something. But I'm just gonna put it here to add a little bit of detail to the pipes. And on top over here, I'm gonna use a tie wrap to maybe do like a walkway for the maintenance guys to walk on, I guess, or something. Now you could do 4 of these, right? And make it go north, south, east, west, and those are going to be like your 4 gates, and you can have a race go around here. So that could be an idea. I mean, if you're looking for something. Oh, time for some coffee. Some feckin' lovely coffee from the Mrs. Brown's Boys. If you haven't watched the show, you should watch it with subtitles, but it's really funny. I think it's on Netflix. I'm gonna glue the panel here though, inside, because on the outside it's probably gonna get hit by cars and stuff, so it's not very safe there. But I feel like it makes more sense here, and I'm gonna make a walkway to get to the panel for the maintenance crew. Now once you prime it, I decided to prime it in white. You could go in brown or black, however you want, but I feel like white is a bit safer for me, especially on the rim all around when I'm going to be doing the white and the red. But for now, I'm going to focus on the silver. Anything that's metallic or silver, I'm just going to put some silver on it, and use some brown for the piping and for the container here that's being used to hold up the camera. Gonna make the pipes brown as well, and I don't know what I'm gonna put underneath there, but I'll figure something out after. And I put some silver on the spring there at the end. Now it's time to do some weathering. Let's rust this thing up a bit with mythical orange, lava orange, or like dry rust effects. If you don't have any of these, you could use just simple orange if you want, like the cheapest method, and that's what I'm going to use just to show you that it's not that bad a thing to use, and also it's terrain, so I don't really want to waste too much of my good paints on terrain. I'd rather use it on the cars. But I'm going to use a sponge here, dish sponge, and I'm going to open it up and dip it in the orange. Now you don't want to go directly onto your model with a sponge because that's a lot of paint. You want to try to get like a pattern, something like this. So once you've removed a few of the paint on there, and if it's too much, you could just, you know, remove some of it on a paper towel and then just randomly hit whatever you want to have a rusted look. And if you have gloves on, even without gloves, you could just, you know, remove some of it if it's too bright, if it's not to your liking. But gloves and fingers is a really good thing to use while you're painting if you want to fix things. So you like just tap so it's not as bright. I'm gonna put some on the spring here, some rust patterns, and on the walkway up here, just tap it, some dabs, and it's gonna rust that up. Go along the edge here, around the rims, make that a bit rusty. Super easy, super quick, nothing fancy. But you know, as long as it works, right? So you could take your time with this if you want. You could use a brush if you want to make it more detailed. If you want to choose the spots that you want to rust, then with a brush you could also, you know, go on edges and stuff that maybe the sponge didn't get. I like to use a broken brush or a brush that's not like brand new, so it has the hairs on it a bit everywhere, kind of like a random pattern. I'm going to use a brushed metal also along the edges here. I really like doing that. It's something I've done ever since I started and just keep doing it. But again, just use a brush that's not clean or not like new, and do some lines here. Put some brushed metal on the brush and just pretend you're wiping the brush on the edge with some quick strokes, and it's gonna dirty it up. You could also use it on the pipe, like underneath here. Get it all dirty from the fumes of the cars passing. And you could also use it on the spring here. Dirty that up a little bit. And again, under the pipe here, maybe where the pipe connects, it's pretty dirty, so you could use that to dirty up there. And I think I'm going to do the bottom as well. Here I flatten the brush a bit, and I'm just going to do some quick strokes upwards. I'm really not pushing hard on the brush here. I'm using the hairs to do these like dirty lines here. Really not pushing hard. And you could do it along the edges of the metal here. I apologize for my hand. It's not really showing what I'm doing, but you get the idea. Like just wash the pretend you're just flicking the brush back and forth on the edges, and it's gonna dirty it up a bit. Something like that. And I did it all around. This is what it looks like. I even dirtied up the console here and the camera on top. So I'll dirty it up. And you could also use the orange again and go over the brushed metal, which is going to give a nice little look, a nice little detail of weathered stuff. And now for the liquid. Got some red food coloring and Amazon Basics school glue, but you could buy this anywhere. It was really cheap. I think it was like $2. And I'm going to use some cornstarch, which is probably going to make it a bit thicker. If you guys have any better ideas to use to make it thicker, I know glue is thick enough, but it's just, it dries up and evaporates and then it goes away. So if you guys have any good things to put into the glue so that it doesn't evaporate as much and makes it really thick, let me know in the comments. This is gonna take forever, so I'm just gonna open the bottle and pour it in like this. And with, by eye, you try to figure out how much you need for, depending the size of the pool that you're gonna be doing in there. Few drops of red food coloring and just stir it up with a spoon. Don't worry, this is super washable. The spoon's gonna be clean. Everything you could even clean whatever you're using. So you could use a bowl or a plate or whatever. Now it's a bit pink, so I'm gonna put more red. I'm gonna maybe put a drop of blue food coloring. I really wanted this to be really red. It's too pink, and if it's still too pink, maybe put a bit of black paint, maybe like just one drop of black paint in there, darken it up a little bit. And I'll show you later what happens when it dries actually. So I'm gonna put that to the side and start pouring it. Try using the spoon here first. Try not to get any on any of the other areas. Just want it to be in that pool area that you want liquid to be. You could do it green also. You could do it blue if you want to have clear water. I'm just gonna go with red because it's October, it's fall season, it's Halloween. Maybe this could be some blood or something from all the fallen drivers. That's actually a lot. So you want to put a lot of this. You want to go all the way up to the edge, and if not, like even a little bit past the edge, because as this dries, it evaporates and shrinks. So put as much as you can. Make sure that it overflows a little bit. And you can even use a straw to shape it, and to even put some air inside, which is going to create bubbles. Now at this point you might get hungry, so don't forget to eat. Get your energy up. Man, I know when you're doing a hobby, sometimes you forget to drink water, which is important, but eating is also important. And my wife made me some salmon here with breaded salmon. And this sauce, if you're looking for a sauce to put on your salmon, this is dill with mayonnaise, mustard, and lemon. And it's so good, guys. You should try it. And so now back to work. I am going to do these blocks here red because I want to do like a red and white thing, that you see on the Formula One tracks. First start by doing the outlines in red. I find that it's much easier to paint after inside. Once you have the outlines done, you could use a bigger brush and then color in the outline that you did here. Now fast forward, I did all the sides all around here, and at the same time the glue is drying in the middle there. If you see little mistakes or little blemishes or whatever, you could just fix it with some white. And I think that's why I primed it in white, because I didn't want to have any problems with the side. Now inside here, inside the middle, I found this thing at a antique shop, the natural Indian moss, and at the shop it was like $1. I don't know what it actually goes for, how much it's worth, but I have it. I found it, and I'm gonna use it in the middle here. So I'm just gonna put blue at the bottom, and just throw some in there. And what I like about this glue is that it does evaporate, but it still keeps some of it, and it still glues things to it. So what you can do after you've put this is pour some glue on top, and you won't see it. It's gonna evaporate, but it's gonna still keep things glued. Now this is after 2 or 3 days, and it's gonna dry like this. So see how it became really dark red. The bubbles stayed from the straw, and what's cool is that you could also peel off like little mistakes. So like this here shouldn't be there. You could just peel it off. It's an easy glue to use. Now for the ring around here, this white part should actually not be there, or depending on what you're gonna put it on, you want to make it match as much as possible. I'm gonna be putting it on a playmat that has a lot of like it looks like sand, so I'm gonna put brown all around, and then with a sponge, maybe put some green or some gray, put some grass or pebbles all around. So again, with the same piece of sponge that you had, dip that in the gray, and you could put a few little pebbles here around the edge. And try to make the pattern match your play area. Now, using a card that you already have for scale, or to check where it would hit the wall here, you could use these sponges or this brush sponge. I wanted to try a different thing. I've been using the sponge a lot, but I wanted to try this. My wife gave it to me, and she's like, "You should try this." Okay, I think it's a makeup remover or a makeup applicator, but put some black on it, and I think it's a really good size for tire marks if you want to make tire marks, or bumper marks on terrain that you might have. So just remove some of that, and then just hit the sides here. And look at that. That's, like when you go into parking lots or indoor parking lots, you see these all along the edge of walls because people don't know how to drive. And yeah, so they hit the walls. And you could use them to make tire tracks, maybe like a car that went right over this thing, and make it look like a car went there. And you could actually drive a car with tires over black paint, and then drive the actual car over your terrain. But if you don't want to do that, this sponge works pretty well. And I liked it so much that I did a few different tire marks and things up on the track here. Now, if you know a place that sells submarines and pizza, you should try to order a submarine made with pizza dough bread. It's the best thing you'll ever have, trust me. Now, back to this thing here. I wanted this screen to be black with some writing on it, so we're gonna make the background black. I was planning on maybe doing it also like blue, and have it have that Windows Crash logo, but it makes more sense that it's actually working. So I'm gonna make the lens black here, and I left a bit of white by accident, and it was actually looking like a reflection, so I decided to keep the white there. And I'm gonna write on the screen here with a very small brush. For fun, guys, what would you think would be written on this screen? I'd like to hear your comments on that. Let's write in the comments what you think would be written on the screen here during a race that's being televised, and the computer you're using has like DOS and something's written on there. I'm gonna also put a little red dot here, make it look like it's on record mode, maybe like a red button that you have to push to start the recording and turn on the camera and stuff. Gonna also detail the camera up here with the obviously the Gaslands TV colors, just aqua and purple. And why not do some graffiti here on this pipe. Fast forward that a little bit. It's actually really hard to do, but I did it. And then with a black marker, which is even harder to do than the actual graffiti, I just outlined the letters. And I'm gonna use some tattoos for graffiti. Kind of like this hand here. I'm gonna cut that out, dip it in water, and put it on here, side of this thing. Could even add some water with the sponge brush. Really soak it up. It has to be really wet. Now, I know you're supposed to slide this off, but I actually pulled it off instead. The white piece of paper, you're supposed to slide it as to not mess up the tattoo, but I pulled it off and I really messed that up. So I tried to fix with my fingers, which then the tattoo got stuck to my finger, and then it just like shaped into a middle finger hand, I think. So, as Bob would say, happy little accident, right? Is that what he says? Is it a happy little accident? I don't know. It's close to something like that. I'm going to dirty it up a little bit with some brown because it's not a fresh graffiti. And on the other side, I'm going to put this flower. Now, obviously, you don't want to put flower graffiti. If you could find tattoos that have skulls or cars or graffiti or tattoos that look like graffiti, that would be awesome. And you could just put that. So see here, I slid the paper, and that's how you actually apply it, by sliding. And with a little bit of black paint, you could make a little face on it or something. Made it look a bit like a scary face. And that's it. I've done my fourth terrain here for Gaslands TV, and I hope you've learned something from watching this video. I mean, it makes for a pretty cool gate, I would say. Now, as you all know, we have a contest on Facebook where you guys show us some cars that you've painted in the Gaslands TV colors, and I run your name and picture through a random generator to see who wins the contest. So you don't have to be a pro for this contest. You don't have to, be the best painter out there. You just got to submit a card that has purple and blue, the colors of Gaslands, or even terrain that has the colors of Gaslands, and you're automatically entered for the month. And this month, at the time of recording this, we are in October, so this is going to be for the October 2020 random giveaway. And I'm just showing off some of the cars that were made for this. And again, if you don't win, don't worry about it. You could use the exact same picture in November and the next month. As long as if you haven't won with it, you could reapply. This truck is amazing. Really nice job, guys. But it's Ricky Williams who wins this month. It is a random draw, so don't judge the car. And thanks for entering, and good luck to everybody else next month. If you guys are looking for dice or templates or gates, if you're looking for some engines, maybe with skulls and pipes, guns to glue onto your car, rams, I sell containers on my Etsy page, so go check out the link in the description, and it supports the channel. Also go to our Facebook page, Gaslands TV, to enter for November or any other month that you want to win. And we also have an Instagram account, so go check out or follow us on Gaslands TV. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.